Everyone be out here getting super upset, and I'm like, it's not that serious, okay? What's up guys, it's Krista Sue. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. I posted a poll on Instagram asking my followers if they would be interested in seeing a video for me about what I like and don't like about all the zodiac signs, and it was an overwhelming yes. But to all the people who said no, joke's on you, I was gonna do it anyway. If you are interested in being included in polls and stuff like that, or just following me along on my daily life, then definitely give me a follow. I'll put it right here. It's Krista Sue Loves You. Today I am going to be ranking all of the zodiac signs from my least favorite to my favorite, and then kind of in between just discussing my experiences with the different signs and what I like about them, what I don't like about them, etc. I've been super into astrology for a few years. I'm not like an expert or anything, but I could definitely look at someone's chart and kind of get an idea of who they are, how they might act in different situations, stuff like that. I could fill this entire intro with a ton of disclaimers, but I'm just gonna leave it at don't get butthurt about what I say about your sign or like where I place you. I would never not be friends with someone just because of their sign. That would be ridiculous. If you watch a lot of videos like this, you'll notice that everyone's rankings are different, and that's because the characteristics you seek in individuals that you spend time around is going to be completely different from other people's. It's subjective, so everyone's rankings are going to be a little bit different. Everyone be out here getting super upset, and I'm like, it's not that serious, okay? Just for your reference so you can kind of understand where I'm coming from in this video, I have a Virgo sun, a Capricorn moon, my ascendant is in Gemini, my Mercury is in Virgo, and my Mars and my Venus are in Cancer. Do with that information what you will. I don't want to like just talk about myself this entire video. I think that my rankings are going to be a lot different than a lot of other people's videos about this topic. I have different preferences for characteristics I look for in people, it seems. I had a really hard time putting everything in order and ranking all of the signs, except I knew exactly who was going directly at the fucking bottom. Number 12, we have Aquariuses. My mom's an Aquarius. Hi mom, I love you. I have plenty of people in my life that are Aquariuses that I love and adore, but I just had to think about, in a social situation, who is the person that is most likely to irk me and rub me the wrong way, and that is an Aquarius, okay? With Aquariuses, I've just always noticed there's something to prove with them all the time. Like, they want to be the most weird and unique and quirky, or the most of whatever they want to be. They have to be the most of it at all times. And you know, sometimes they are really genuinely unique people, or like they're just really like that, but a lot of the times it comes off as like inorganic, inauthentic, and it just bothers me. I think there's a difference between January and February Aquariuses, but we're not going to get into that. Something I do like about Aquariuses though is that like the conversation is never dull. It's like never boring. Their conversation with them is interesting and fun, and that's nice. That's literally it though. I just, most of the time we don't click right away, you know? Next on the list is Sagittarius. I feel like this might surprise a lot of people because Sagittarius is usually ranked really high on a lot of people's lists, and they're not at the bottom because I don't like them, because I've always had good experiences with Sagittariuses. Both of my sisters are Sagittariuses, and I love them. We are just such different people that I couldn't rank them any higher. Sagittariuses are kind of, they're the type of person that like they'll decide that they want to like quit their job and start a new career and move somewhere like all in the same day, and they'll do it. And it's like commendable, like that's super dope that you can do that, because they always like just make it work and figure their shit out, and that's awesome. I could never do that, and the kind of like flakiness and lack of commitment are just not my thing, you know? But I've always had really good experiences with Sagittarius. They're really fun people. They're always down to go out and have a good time and travel. Definitely good friends, you know, but yeah, we're just really differing in our lifestyles, I guess. Next, I didn't want to put Scorpios this low. I really didn't. I went into this like, I like Scorpios. I really get along with Scorpios. Scorpios are at least going to be in like the middle, you know, but I could not look past the fact that every single time I've had a friendship with a Scorpio, it has ended so poorly, so poorly. And I don't want it to make it seem like it's all the Scorpios. Each time it was definitely a two-way street. We all suck in our own special ways, okay? I am not exempt from that. I always get along with Scorpios for sure. Like, we have really similar senses of humor, outlooks on life. Conversation is always really deep and authentic, and really, I like Scorpios a lot. I like how they're kind of moody and they look at the world in a different way. But each time I've had a friendship with them, something shifts very quickly for them. They flip the switch very quickly and like in a very aggressive and hostile manner, and they hold on to that anger for a very long time. I'm not the type of person to hold grudges literally at all or have really much anger in me, so those experiences have definitely shaped my perception on Scorpios, and have just made me more aware of like my decisions that could have impacted them more than I realized. You do not want to have a Scorpio mad at you. Let's just say that. So yeah, I would have liked to put Scorpios higher, but with my experiences with them, I just couldn't. I do like Scorpios though. I just, I'm really scared of hurting one again, I guess. Next on the list is Leo. I don't have a ton of experiences with Leos, and that's why they're kind of like in the middle. I have more like just like acquaintances that I've known that are Leos, or like okay friends, and I like them. They're really easy to be around. They have a nice demeanor. They have an energy that draws you in. They have a way of making you feel like important when you're talking to them. But the one thing that bothers me about them is that they somehow carry themselves with a lot of confidence, but they need so much validation, and I'm not the type of person to give that to someone. I think that's a Virgo thing. I don't think I could ever be in a relationship with a Leo or anything, because they just need so much validation for like literally everything to keep that confidence going, it seems like, or at least to make the confidence more real. I don't have a problem with Leos though. I think they're really nice people. I've heard they're really loyal in friendships and stuff like that, which is awesome. Yeah, not really much to say about Leos. Originally, Leo was going to be the next one up, but I moved Aries up on my list. I have quite a bit of experience with Aries people, primarily Aries men, but I have had really big relationships in my life with Aries women as well. My dad's an Aries. I lost my virginity to an Aries man. One of my best friends in college was an Aries. Aries just have a way of making you do the damn thing, you know? They bring out the very best and the very worst in me. I'm usually the type of person that like, I'm kind of not a stick in the mud, but I definitely am more cautious. Whenever I've been with an Aries, I always make like really reckless decisions, and I never regret them actually. They're always a good time and fun to look back on, but when I'm with an Aries, I definitely like get rid of the cautious side of me, and I'm like reckless. I make like crazier decisions than I ever would, and they just have something about them that makes you want to, that they can talk you into doing anything. They're kind of like leaders in that sense, I guess, and I really like that about them. I haven't had super bad experiences with Aries. Like, I've never had them blow up on me or lose their patience with me like I've heard other people have had. What I've noticed about Aries people is that they are really, it's not even that they're aggressive, it's that they're very reactive. When something happens, they don't even take a second to like think about it and process it. They just react, and I think sometimes that can be translated into aggression or anger, but that's not necessarily what I've experienced with them. Definitely reactive individuals though, and I can see where a lot of people don't like that. Personally, I think Aries people are really fun, but I could see why people rank them lower sometimes. I guess the reason Aries are a little bit lower on my list, despite that I like them a lot, is the reactiveness. I'm like the complete opposite of that. I really ponder on things that happen and really try to understand everything from every single angle, and I don't find that Aries people do that usually. Also, Aries people can be pretty competitive, and I'm not a very competitive person, and I find that to be kind of difficult in friendships and relationships and stuff. Next up is Pisces. I don't have a ton of experiences with Pisces, and that's why they're kind of in the middle, but the experiences I have had are lovely. I worked with this one girl who was a Pisces, and I just really I dug her so much. Like we just really clicked. I know that Pisces are directly across from Virgos on the zodiac, and I think it's described as polarity, and you'd think that it would make you clash, but the experiences I've had with Pisces, we actually mesh really well together, and I wish I could put them higher, but I just don't have enough experience. But from what I do know about Pisces is that I think they're like the cooler version of Aquarius, to be completely honest. Like I think they're just like so weird and like in their own world, and they are really emotional, but they're like kind of like a baby. But I'm really maternal naturally, so I'm really attracted to that. I like helping people, and I like helping them understand what's going on with their emotions and helping them kind of figure their situations out. I could see where that would be like exhausting in a relationship maybe. I honestly think being in a relationship with any water sign would just be exhausting. I really like my experiences with Pisces, and I hope that I meet more Pisces people in the future because I just really enjoyed their company and the banter with them. Next up is Libra. I am in a long-term relationship with a Libra right now. I dated a Libra in high school. I have quite a few experiences with Libra women as friends, and Libra people are just very charismatic, very charming, really easy to be around. They're ranked really high on everyone's lists, and I totally get why. I think sometimes on the surface level, Libras seem very kind of just like it's not all there, but when you get to know a Libra, I found that the conversations are so just stimulating and intellectual and really deep, and I love that. Some tips I have with Libras. One of them, you already know what it is. They're so incredibly indecisive. It's not just like a stereotype. Every single Libra I've met, it's just like make a damn decision without researching it for months. I dare you. I dare you. You can't. Like they will read the same Yelp reviews over and over and over again, or they'll be waiting for like a price drop or something, and you're like, oh my god, pull the trigger. It's like not the worst attribute, but it's like kind of annoying because usually they think that they're a decisive person. They don't think that they're the issue, but whatever. I don't have to get into it. Also, I've noticed with Libras there can be kind of like a woe is me thing, and like they always think like the world is out to get them, and I'm like, everyone goes through this. You're not special. It's not that bad. Next, I think this is gonna be like the most controversial on my list. Coming in at number 5 is Gemini. I think that Geminis are just the most misunderstood sign of the zodiac. Are they the sign that is most likely to be a bitch? For sure. But they don't mean to be. They really don't. So the thing about Gemini is, well, one, they have this reputation of being like the crackhead of the zodiac. I have a Gemini rising, so I think I kind of understand where Geminis are coming from and can kind of communicate for them. They are very sociable people, and they love talking. And they are people persons. People. The Geminis are outgoing people. They like to talk to people. And I find that in social situations, I think sometimes they get so caught up in like socializing and like being the people person that they are, that they kind of forget to read the room sometimes, and it can kind of come off like crackheady, you know? Also, Geminis get this reputation for being like gossipy, and I totally get it, but I don't think that they mean to gossip. I think that Geminis, from what I've gathered, Geminis, they just love to talk, and they love to talk about human behavior. They love to talk about people, but I've almost never witnessed a Gemini talking about someone in a malicious way. Like they're just talking about them, whether it be like negative or positive. Their intention behind it is never to like gossip about someone or to spread rumors about them. They do need to be careful not to do that. Some of them aren't aware of like how their actions are being perceived. But yeah, I think that people need to give Geminis a little bit more of a chance. I do have one super bad experience with a Gemini. Like so bad. She, like, it's not just that she was a Gemini, let's just say that. There was a whole... And the great thing about Geminis is that like if you have an issue with them, they'll talk to you about it. Like they won't just shy away from conversation. Like they're down to like hash it out and talk. So I like Geminis. I don't think they're all bad. I do think that they can get themselves into some sticky situations though, for sure. Next up is Taurus. I didn't think that I had a lot of Taurus people come into my life, but I have. Most of them have come into my life in high school and early college, but I have always really liked them. They have killer senses of humor, and Tauruses are just the type of people that like, they're just there to vibe, man. Like whatever vibe you need, they will be there with it, you know? They're down to do anything. I have kind of noticed, at least the Tauruses that I have known have been kind of, there's like a lack of responsibility there and they're a little reckless. But I've heard that as Tauruses grow older and mature more, that kind of goes away. So I haven't met a Taurus recently, but from my experiences with Tauruses when they're younger, that is something that happens. But they're really, really great people and really easy to get along with. And when you're with them, it's just so easy to feel comfortable and at home with them. They're very down to earth, all pun intended. Yeah, I really like Taurus people. I really do. Okay, now to the top 3. And these are clearly biased because they're all very present in my chart, but I don't think that should come as a surprise. Like, obviously the attributes I like in myself, I'll seek out in other people, or compatible attributes. So none of these are a surprise. For me, yeah, completely biased for sure. Number 3 is Cancer. I think that you either really like Cancers or you really don't. I attract a lot of Cancers into my life, like a lot. Throughout my entire life, I have always attracted Cancers, and they just have so much love in their heart to give, and it's just, I love them. They make such good friends. Can they be passive aggressive? Absolutely. But if you're like a really good friend to them, you don't really have to worry about that. I think where most people have troubles with Cancers is when they're in a relationship with them and it's like just not a super compatible relationship. I can see a relationship with a Cancer getting really toxic really fast, because Cancers do have, when they get sad, they get like really, they just get really personally hurt and they take offense to a lot of things, and the way that they cope with and the way that they handle it isn't exactly appropriate most of the time. What?
Your aloe is flowering.
It is?
Good.
Really? That was super exciting. My aloe plant is starting to flower, and that's like super rare. It means it's in like ideal conditions, and I live in Oregon, so it's kind of surprising. Where were we? Were we on? Cancer. Yeah, I could definitely see a relationship with Cancers just being kind of toxic, unless you're super willing to be patient with them. I think you definitely need to be patient with them, because they're not just gonna like stop being passive aggressive and petty. I don't want to give relationship advice, but I could definitely see where a relationship with a Cancer could go haywire. But all of my experiences with Cancers have been really great. I had an experience with someone with a Cancer moon once though, and that was just a fucking mess. She took everything way too personally, and anyway, Cancers are really good people. They have a lot of love to give. They make great friends, they're super loyal, and I really like them. And then next up is Capricorn, and I feel like Capricorn is always rated so low on everyone's list, and I am here to talk to you about how great they are, okay? I feel like they get so confined into this box of like just really diligent hard workers that only care about money and like are really conservative, and that's never been the case when I've gotten to know a Capricorn. Actually, every Capricorn I've ever known is just so funny, like a superior sense of humor. Sure, it's a little cynical, but isn't that fun? Like, I think that's fun. They all have just outstanding character. There's kind of like a stereotype that Capricorns fall into a lot of bad luck in their lives, and I've seen that to be true. But I think it really just makes them a better person, and it makes them grow from it. Does it kind of make them kind of cynical? Yeah, but it's like humorous. And every single Capricorn I've ever met has actually been really quirky and just down to earth, and I just love them so much. If I had to pick something about them that I don't like, I guess it's just that like they kind of have the ability to disassociate from their feelings, and I'm just like, it's okay to feel something, sweetie. It's fine, let it out. And I think maybe that's why like some people don't like them right away, is they might come off a little detached, but once you get to know them, you like won't regret it. Capricorns are great people. Every single Capricorn I've ever met is just dope. So number 1, are we surprised, is Virgo. I am a Virgo, like I said. Don't get me wrong, I totally get why we're not usually rated super high on people's lists. I understand. But when I'm in a room full of Virgos, man, is it a vibe. Both Virgo women and Virgo men I've gotten along with great. The banter is just top notch, and we're always on the same page, and we're always annoyed by the same stuff. Yeah, I just really get along with Virgos. Do I think that some Virgos can come off super condescending and kind of are out of line with some of the things that they say? For sure. Some Virgos can be pretty rude, but once you set boundaries with a Virgo, they won't cross it. If you find a self-aware Virgo, they're great. But we can come off kind of bitchy. Yeah, I feel like probably a lot of people with other people in their zodiac sign probably really vibe really well with them. I didn't even mean to put Virgo at the top, but that's just kind of like what happened. I was just thinking about all of my experiences with Virgo people, and I'm like, wow, we hit it off, okay? Yeah, the Virgo women I've met are just so funny and direct without being abrasive. They have a way of making you feel comfortable, but also like pushing you to be a little bit better. The Virgo men I've met are like really intelligent and funny. Yeah, I really like Virgo people. I feel really at home with them. You'll notice that all of the earth signs are very high on my list. I really vibe with earth signs a lot. My chart has a lot of earth signs in it, so I'm not completely shocked. But yeah, I think that about covers it. I hope you liked this video. You got something out of it. You were entertained. You just liked hanging out with me for a little bit. Whatever it was, I hope you liked it. And if you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up down below and subscribe to me if you want to. If you're an Aquarius, I get it. But yeah, I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.